everyone. Welcome to God, Sex, and Love. It's your girl, Miracle Sims. And today I'm going to interview a lovely lady. Her name is Tiger A.J. Ray. So, friends, if you are ready for this girl chat, this one-on-one girl chat with Miss Tiger, then stay tuned.
There's no time to get my nails done. Oh, I know. I went to unwindselfcare.com and got my 100% nail polish strips. Thanks, Unwind Self-Care.
Welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. I am here with Miss Tiger A.J. Ray. How you doing, lady?
I am blessed. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming in today and chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited about the talk. I'm a little nervous. Let's see.
Nervous?
Yeah, honey, because listen, I can talk about God and love all day long, but you know that second one, I don't know. I ain't got too much to share.
Girl, well, no worries. You know, whatever you're comfortable talking about here at God, Sex, and Love, you are totally welcome to do so. And then, by the way, yeah, welcome. First time for the show.
Hi. Yes, listen, I've only been a guest a couple of times, so this is really new, and I'm excited to be on the other side of the conversation.
Yes, indeed. Well, speaking of Miss Tiger Ray, Tiger A.J. Ray, she is the host of her own talk show as well. It's called The Lift.
Yes, The Lift with Tiger, where we have caffeinated conversations centered around community, culture, and trend.
Oh, okay. Caffeinated conversations.
Yeah, The Lift. You know, like that. You know, the first sip of coffee that you get in the morning. That's what I want my show to feel like. Like the first sip of tea or coffee in the morning. That's how it's The Lift. Give you that first little.
I like that. That's right there. Check her out.
Thank you.
Ooh, I like it.
Thank you.
And now y'all know every time I talk to somebody like this, you know, I get all excited. Not only is she the host of The Lift, but she is an entrepreneur as well. Y'all know I love my entrepreneurs. Tell everybody about your business endeavors, Ms. Tiger.
So I am co-owner of All the Dazzle Cosmetics. It is a company that my sister randomly called me in a pandemic, April 22nd last year. I don't know why I remember the date. She called me and was like, I want to make lip gloss. I was like, huh? You want to make lip gloss? It's like, my sister's a girl who, she'll wear makeup here and there. You know, she's not the makeup lip gloss type of girl. And she was like, yeah, because there's only one lip gloss I ever liked. And I don't feel like spending $25 on lip gloss. So, you know, I want to try to make it. And I was like, you know what? I'm with you. Let's try it. Let's see. And from lip gloss, it went to lip glaze. And then from that, it went to a lip stain. And from that, so now we have lip scrub, lip balm, anything you can think of, we're making it.
Man, I tell you what, like this pandemic is like, if you not in this season creating and using your God-given talents, then you missing it. Yeah, you are.
Especially if you are a creative. Like some people, you know, they're you know, just learning how to cook and stuff like that, like use the time. But if you are a creative, I understand if you need some time to, you know, really understand what's going on and you need to get back to yourself. But if you are okay and you are a creative, I'm gonna need you to get to work, baby. Get to work. Grab it in this season.
Girl, me too, because it's like so many things. That's what I've observed. And even me, right? So many things since 2020 and the whole situation. like there's been so many open doors, so many opportunities. You know, now I don't know how people are using their stimuluses, but I mean, Jesus, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
You know what I mean? You could be using this towards your goals and your endeavors. Like, Lord knows, I mean, you know, and people that listen to me on the podcast and that see me on talk show, they probably tired of me telling it, but I'm like, I gotta share the testimony because it's just that accessible. And I feel like it's just that accessible to everybody. That like I've been sitting on this idea of God, sex, and love for like years, but it wasn't until the pandemic hit and God literally sat me down and was like, you know what? You can't even do nothing else. Like you can't even do those other ideas and those other things that you was like running around doing every day. You like right now.
Yep.
What can you do? And I'm like,
sit down, zone in.
Okay, so I can't do this job. I can't do like, you know, what I was used to do with my shows and all this stuff. So it's like, well, what can I do? Next thing I know, God, Sex, and Love podcast, that door open. Next thing I know, the podcast, the talk show door open. And I mean, so I don't know what I've been doing. Like I just gotta walk.
You have been doing it.
You know
getting it done. Because you know what? I got to give you your flowers because you have been doing the doggone thing. And I went and I looked and I'm like, this girl has been working like nonstop. And even when you're not shooting this, you'll go live and talk and connect. Like that's what it's about. Like still being able to connect and doing what you can do. Like when you recognize, okay, I can't do this. What can I do? That's when you keep moving forward. When you say, what can I do? You'll get the answer. And that's basically what happened with me. I see it with you too. But it's just,
exactly.
What we gotta do.
I'm trying to encourage people to, you know, especially those, like I said, those God-given gifts and those talents that you all have. Like I said, I mean, I understand things take time. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, when this idea came to me years ago, and I was doing little things here and there to work towards it. Like, you know, I got the logo done years ago. I got this done. I got that done. So by the time this situation happened, I pretty much had everything in place to just move forward. So it's like, why not? Why not move forward?
You know what's crazy? I'm sorry, I ain't gonna cut you off. Say what you gotta say. You just like kicked me into something I remembered, but I didn't even talk about it. The way I got my show was like bananas. Like, absolute bananas. Okay, so I got tea for you here. So okay, maybe yesterday I actually made 1 year of directing and creative directing, which is what I do. I made 1 year of that. I had a friend I used to style for her, and she's done, if you've ever seen any of my photos, she typically does my photo shoots. So she would have me along, you know, to style and sometimes to assist. And I kind of started directing and giving ideas for, you know, how to set up shoots she wanted to do. And she was like, you're good at this. Okay, I want you on my next shoot. And I was like, okay, what do you need me to do? And she said, I need you to direct. I was like, You need me to what? Who? I've never done this. I've never done this before. So I went on the shoot with her, and actually it ended up being a real blessing. It was mid-pandemic, well, beginning of the pandemic. I wasn't going to work, didn't know I was about to be laid off. So I went to the shoot, and it was amazing. And I got paid, and I'm like, okay. I literally that morning been watching church. It was a Sunday, and I was praying, and I was like, okay, God, like, what I'm gonna do about money? Like, what am I about to do? Like, I wasn't getting any shifts or anything. They shut down the store, and I was like, what am I gonna do about money, God? So she calls me. She's like, hey, you remember we have a shoot today? And I was like, we're still doing that, girl. We in the middle of a pandemic. She was like, we're going to be safe. You know, I have an N95. You have an N95. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, everything will go, but be safe. So we did the shoot, all of that. And from there, it was like doors just kept opening. But what was really strange, I started this concept for my show in 2016. And it got cut before it even was finally produced, like before final production and anybody saw it, it was cut. So that person that directed me then called me and said, hey, you want to do your show again? And I was like, huh? Because 3 days, what he didn't know was 3 days before that, my cousin randomly called me and said, hey, what happened to your show? And I was like, huh? That was like 4 years ago. Like, what are you talking about? I don't have a show. And he was like, well, why don't you have a show? I was like, how am I supposed to just do a show? And he said, well, why don't you just, with your phone or do YouTube or something? I said, listen, honey, I don't have time to be producing and directing and all of that. I said, if I get a show, I'm gonna need a studio, a director, a producer, a camera person, and that costs money, and I don't see that happening. Okay. Jesus said, oh, okay, I got your number, Tiger. So 3 days later, 3 days.
Not 3 days.
I get a call. So you want your show back? Excuse me? What do you mean? Do I want my show back? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm opening a studio and yeah. I'm opening a studio and we want to be able to have our own content and we want you to come in and do your show again. Lord. Okay, Lord. I hear you.
Man, good.
And I was like, oh my God, I had said I would never be in front of the camera again. Aside from modeling and taking a few pictures and all of that, I said I would never be talent again after that experience. Aww. God said, okay, I'm gonna let you rest and heal. But we coming back to this. And come back we did. And Here we are. That's the story. That's the tea.
Wow.
That's the tea.
That is amazing. That's an awesome testimony. I hope the people are hearing it. Like, it's that you hear. Like, God will open up those doors. Like, it's same. Like I said, I mean, it's just amazing. Like, looking back on things. Girl, like, okay, all last week, it just was on my spirit and on my mind as a reminder, like, man, I kicked this thing off in April 1st last year. And we almost said a year of me doing the podcast, all of that. I'm over here like, man, that's an amazing accomplishment.
Crazy.
Because, me, now, okay, my YouTube is probably my testimony because it's like, I would make little stuff and I would do little stuff for a little while and then I'll be like trying to do stuff. And then I'll be like, oh, ain't nobody watching me. I'm gonna stop. And I got little segments and so many little things that I was doing throughout my YouTube experience that just pretty much was that same pattern. But I would say this is the most consistent thing that I've probably done in my life, especially in my online life. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that, doing daily inspiration, girl, that was just like, I think I just called it daily inspiration. I didn't know I was going to really do it every day.
Every day.
And I'm honest too, because, I do take my Sabbath day. I do take a day to rest. And then there has been a couple of days that I've been like, oh, or something like that, or a spirit-led rest, I call it. Vacation or something like that.
Listen, those spirit-led rests are... You gotta listen. You gotta listen.
Right. So there's been a couple of times that I didn't do it, in the days that I said I would. But for the most part, I have got I've done the podcast every day, had daily inspiration. Once I did start the show, for the most part, I had it going weekly. I did take a break in January for a random break. Once I kicked it back off, had it going weekly or whatever the case is. And so, like I said, probably most consistent thing that I've done, like, ever. And I mean, I've been so at peace, and
yes.
That's
the word.
It's different. You know what I mean? It's different from what I was doing because, again, when I'm somebody like a gig person, right? So I'm doing this gig, I'm doing that gig. As an actor, you're trying to do whatever gigs you can do, right?
Yep.
Okay, don't mind. That's cool. We ain't got to get on that. But anyway, right? So that was me. I was always running here and running there to do my gigs. But like I said, in this season of I'm just amazed how much I've been able to do from home. Like I said, I've been at peace about it. I haven't been, that was probably the difference before too. I would always be in situations where I'd be like, I'd be doing stuff, and then I'd be like, man, I still feel like something's missing. Like I'm not, like there's something I'm not.
Like you're not tapping into it all the way.
Yeah, like there's something I'm just not getting. Like, what is it, Lord? I done did this, I done did that. I thought that, I'm acting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but there'll still be something missing. But now I don't do that. I don't feel that. So
it's the peace and the clarity.
Yep.
Girl, my pastor was just talking about that Sunday. He was like, if it's a God thing, like there will be peace, there will be clarity. He said it's still gonna be, he said if it's the enemy, it's gonna be blurry, it's gonna be chaotic. He said, but the crazy thing about it is, even when it's God, with that peace and that clarity, you still walk through the blurry, you still walk through the chaotic, but you have peace. And that's the crazy, like that hit me like a ton of bricks. Because when I say everything that could happen that could make me stop happened, from my grandmother passing the week that I was supposed to shoot my December show, grandmother passed of COVID, from us having to shut down the studio with COVID scares, from like everything that could happen, from my guests catching COVID, like from just anything that could happen to make me stop happen. Me completely getting laid off, not knowing where my next dollar was coming from. It was like everything that could possibly happen happened, and it hit me yesterday, and I got really emotional. I was like, I really kept going. Any other situation, job, I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go. I need some time, like I'm gonna need some time. But no, this, I know it's God, because it's like, I want to do it. Like, I still want to do it. Even when everybody's telling me no, and they're saying, like, trying to book guests, and they're like, oh, I don't really know what you got going with your little show. I don't know. What's your analytics?
Wow.
When people hit you with that and it make you want to say, okay, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And God will always remind me, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Did I tell you to stop? Did I tell you it's not? Did I tell you, okay, well, you got one guest? Well, you go ahead and you do that show with that one guest, okay? You got one idea? Okay, you do that show with that one idea. But you just keep doing the work. I'm going to keep showing up. You just keep doing the work. Girl, don't give me the preaching of it.
Sis, I was not ready for this birthday.
Don't give me the preaching. But
oh my God, like I'm right with you, like, but then don't the confirmation be so beautiful though? Don't, like, I would say this week, now like I said, last week I was doing a lot of reflecting, like, man, it's almost a year. This week I've been kind of like reminded of like just confirmations, like I've had me being live. So now I go live when I do the podcast. So I'm recording the podcast, and then I'm also live. It don't be nothing special, honey. I'll be in a onesie. And like, look, it's 4-5 in the morning now. I gotta understand.
Hey, look, I'm tired.
I was just recording my voice only. So, honestly, if I got my robe on, anybody know. But I was starting feedback, like people was interested in seeing me record it live, and I was just like, okay. So now I'm doing it. But now,
wow.
And then people, they'll tune in with me. They'll like log in and they're chatting and stuff like that. I had somebody.
Wow.
Was it today? I think it was today that one of the guys. There's this guy. I guess he tuned in this morning and just happened. Now I didn't know it was a guy because he had a name like I can't remember the name right now, but basically just a random name. So I was like, hey, I don't know who you are, but thanks for tuning in. Explain. Hey. They kind of was like, oh, I'm a guy, XYZ. I'm like, because I was like, ma'am or sir or whatever,
Not sure.
I'm a man or whatever. And then it was like, basically, he told me that like last week I had talked about something that actually encouraged him. And then, they appreciate the content and everything like that. And I'm just like, it's just moments like that. Like, I want to say that happened. Girl, ooh, okay, this just came to my mind. I'm going to tell you. It made me emotional when it happened, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I told people on podcasts already. So, long story short, since I started doing this talk show version, one thing I was saying to myself, I was like, okay, this is cool. You know, I'll find a way to film it, X, Y, and Z, but I'm gonna have to get some type of help somewhere. Like, I'm doing so much by myself. Like, yeah, I'm doing my own makeup, doing my own like, can I get some type of help? Like, so I ended up going on Fiverr, just throwing it out there, going on Fiverr, and I was like, let me get somebody to at least edit the show. Like, I can film the stuff, send it to them, they can at least edit the show, you know. Ended up putting it out there. I was like very, very transparent that this was going to be a Christian-based show and everything like that. Because I wanted people that was going to be cool with that or understand that, you know what I'm saying, and not whatever, you know what I mean, like it be. So I put it out there, whatever the case is. So I ended up after vetting and all that stuff, I ended up connecting with this guy. He wants me to call him Sammy, so I just call him Sammy. So I had him to start. He's been editing the show since the beginning. Now he's over in Pakistan, right? And he probably
okay.
He might not see. I don't know. I don't know how much.
Hey, Sammy.
Start watching. So basically, long story short, and I won't get too much into detail because it's personal business, whatever. But he did share with me, there's some things going on in his family because we're working on another project and I noticed there was like a little bit of difference in our communication, not too much, but just a little bit. And I was like, hey, are you okay, X, Y, and Z? And he mentioned the stuff that's going on in his family and he asked for prayer. And for me, that meant a lot because we never did talk about, what his faith was. We never talked about Christian too. That I know he's over in Pakistan, so that, that can be anything,
Right. So many different religions.
Different beliefs and stuff like that.
Right.
But he's had no issue with filming. I mean, editing. He's had no issue with my content. Like we haven't talked about it. There hasn't been a question, whatever. But the fact that he asked me to pray, I just was like, man. Like when I really just thought about it, I'm like, that's amazing. Like I thanked him.
That is always big.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you for entrusting me with that information. And I'm like, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna get my mama to pray. And I was talking about it.
Oh, you asked the right one. You got the right one today.
Like, we gonna pray now.
We gonna pray.
Yeah.
Be ready for stuff to start changing because we finna start praying, okay?
I was like, expecting a victory, okay? So let me get my mama on it too, like. And
come on, prayer warriors.
Exactly. And so me and my mom is praying. And I have my son. And I'm holding his hand and everything like that. And here I am, boo-hoo, crying and all these little things. Like, man, because really just, like I said, when I really just let it soak in, the fact that I wouldn't have met this gentleman if I didn't step out on faith and do this. You know what I'm saying? And again, like not knowing what his faith is, but having some type of trust in me to share with me his situation as well as I'm like, girl, I've had things, and like you're talking about, those things that come your way to make you feel like, man, are you doing the right thing? Or, oh, should you do it? Or sometimes that for me, that came in the form of people, and I hate to put it like that. Lord, why did you tell me like that? But I mean, sometimes that has come to me in the form of people, and it'd be like, oh Lord. Okay, long story short, basically I would be trying to work with the people, but then and then doors will open and I'm like, yeah, that thing we've been planning is time. Like, now it ain't time. And I'm over here like, put that door on. And then, it's like, you don't see this open door? And so
I already know.
You said probably no. I guess not, right? I guess it wasn't one of the sea, I guess, but eventually what would happen would be I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going through the open door, and they'd be like, and it'd be like,
you coming?
Through the open door, but I'm like, man, first of all, I came to you with whatever it was. We said we was gonna do it. Doors open. You didn't want to go. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna not go because you said don't? You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, when I think about these moments, like that gentleman that I told you about that gave me that comment this morning, and then like my editor asking for prayer and all that stuff, how these things have happened. There's no way.
It's God. It's always God. It's always God.
That's why I'm like, I mean, hey, those things that try to come your way, if you know within yourself that God done told you to do something, do it. Like, do what you got to do it. I mean, you may not be able. Sometimes you may not be able to do it exactly at that moment, but make some steps. Write it down. Whatever.
Do something.
Something.
Do what you do know. Like, do what you do know.
Right.
And then what you don't know will come to you along the way. Like, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to understand everything. But when that thing hits you, and it hits you right up in here, you know what I'm talking about. When that thing hits you in here, and you like, okay, I just keep feeling like I need to just do. I don't like I'm on the phone with my cousin. I ain't doing nothing unless I got a director and a cameraman and a studio. And I said it like that was too big. I said it like it was too big. Like I didn't know my God. You know? And God whole time. Oh, that's all you need? Oh, that's all you need to do? What I told you to do? That's all? That's it? That's it? Nothing else? That's it? Oh, okay. Maybe I should have asked for a few grand to go with it. Maybe that would have came through though too. Cause the way he delivered 3 days later.
Girl.
And while I'm talking, it's like he remember, you forgot what I can do in 3 days? Did I forget what he could do in 3 days?
Look, I guess we all do. We all do. And
it's just he's a living God. That's all I can tell people. That's all I can say. I serve a living God. When the people that you touch along the way, you think you gonna do something for God and not touch his people? Like, do you think?
That's the whole point. That is the whole point. That's
why else would he give it to you?
Come on.
Now, but girl, and I'm talking to you and I'm talking to me at the same time.
That's how it
like, it's a dialogue, but I'm also talking to me. Because sometimes the responsibility that goes with it, it's like, because when he gives it to you and he tells you to do it, you have to do it. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he over there cutting up. I done got to talking about Jesus and now my dog want to start cutting up. But
I heard my son. So we might need a commercial break.
Let King work out whatever he got going. But no, seriously. Sometimes it's like I feel responsible. And God has to remind me, no. That's still mine. But I need you to do what you got to do. I just need you to do this little thing right here for me real quick. I just need you to type that one post. Like I wrote a post yesterday about making a year of being a creative director. And it was for me. That was for me. And then I was in tears reading the responses of people. Oh, I needed to hear that. Oh, I needed. Oh, you're right. Our God is a good God. You know, like, and I was like, that was for me. Or I thought it was. But it was for you too. I guess it was for you. Maybe it was for you and it was never really for me. But when God gives us stuff, that's why he gives it to us. Because it's not always for us. He needed to get to somebody who ain't listening to him.
Come on.
But okay, I'm done. Dropping the mic. I'm done.
Hey, but we'll play that up.
I'm dropping the mic though. We good.
But yeah, you talking good though. You talking good, sis.
It's just strange. This whole thing, like, the more I talk about it, when I talk to people about it, it's like, it is a living testimony. Like, I understand what those words mean now because I am seeing it while I'm walking through it. It's stuff that I have coming up right now that I am not at liberty to talk about just yet. But it was like, you just gonna drop that in on me like that, guy? Just, here you go. Oh, okay, that's not working. Well, try this. It was something that God had been telling me to do that I was like, that ain't God. I'm serious. I was like, that ain't God. That ain't God. Because why would he have me do that? And then it was, the more I kept saying that ain't God, the more he kept doing stuff to prove that it was. And I was like, okay. I'm gonna be obedient and I'm just gonna do it. And every time I got ready to turn and run away, he did something else that made it a little easier to go, forward. And every time I'd be like, okay, God, this ain't it. Maybe it's not you. Here you go. Go forward. You're not stopping that easy. I done gave you too many other hard ways that you could have stopped before. You're not stopping this easy. So here I am, talk show host, creative director.
And doing it really well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I ain't go to school for this. I got a Bachelor of Science in Fashion Retailing and Merchandising. I can tell you why you buy what you buy right now. And that degree just getting dust right now.
No, it's not. I mean, fashion is not.
Oh, stop, child.
Fashions be together. I'll be like,
thank you.
Around here, like I did have some help at one point. Y'all saw me shouting out to teachers. I had some help at one point, but
hey, sometimes you need it. Sometimes I need it, girl. I ain't even gonna go into that, but child, I already know. I done had to call up a few friends. Hey, look, I need something. You got something easy I can put on? Because I can't put this thing together right now. It's like I can't remember fashion. But yes. Thank you, child. I'm doing. I'm trying to stop saying I'm trying. I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing. That's all we can do.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Mark. I keep messing up.
Y'all, she trying to give y'all my government names.
Yes.
That's how you know. Okay, this is funny, y'all. I wasn't gonna tell this story, y'all. I wasn't gonna tell y'all the story. But me and Miss Miracle here been knowing each other a while. It's coming up real. We've known each other for the better part of a decade. So, and I've watched her grow, and she has watched me switch careers and grow. But along the way, well, no, the beginning, me and Miss Miracle met on a play, and I was an understudy because I thought I wanted to act. This woman's a professional, guys. She's a professional. But I said that to say, I mean, I understand why you want to say my first name. You know me a little bit. So the rest of y'all is Tiger AJ Ray.
Tiger AJ Ray, man. I wrote it down and everything. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna forget that other thing.
It's all right.
Ray. Yeah. Yes. So Miss Tiger AJ Ray, I can sit here and chat with you all day, honey. Chat, man. I've been enjoying it. We gotta do it again.
We do. It's too many topics we hadn't even touched. We need to talk about love. By the way, I'm single, guys. I am single.
Listen, y'all men folks don't understand why all these lovely ladies.
Throwing that out there. 100% single, child.
You're
just right there.
Segue a minute ago when you was like, when you said you prayed that prayer and God gave you just what you had said. And my segue was gonna be. And everybody's tired of hearing my testimonies. They're like, man, you always talking about.
Let me tell it. Somebody who didn't hear it the last time gonna hear it this time.
There you go. But this is just confirmation of what Miss Tiger said. That's all I'm doing. Confirmation of what she said. I had the same thing happen to me. Now I don't know if anybody told you to do this, sis, as a single woman, but I recommend it. I did it, and so if you want to do it, by all means. It's that whole make a list thing.
You know, I did it. I did do it. I did it not that long ago. And I feel like God said patent pending. He keeps showing me, because I thought that the type of man that I wanted and believed was for me didn't exist. But he keeps showing me that they exist. But every time he showed me they exist, they might be married or they're in a relationship. And I was like, I was upset. I was driving. Listen, I talked to God like he probably be like, she must think I one of her little friends. But I was talking to God. I was like, man, what you doing? Like, why would you show me this? Like, I ain't gonna go talk to no married man. He said, I know that. I was like, I ain't gonna go talk to no man in a relationship. He said, I know that. He said, you asked me if it exists. I said, okay. Okay, God. Touche, Lord. Touche.
Picking up. So in my starting to get real specific. I'm like, and I want my mother-in-law relationship to be like this, and I want the da-da-da-da-da. And I had to like start to really, really be like, because man, I was like, you know what, Lord, you ain't gonna I'll be real specific. Loophole and that. So basically, and then girl, now this is what he got me here. So at the end of my long list, and I had said to myself, and I said, and no offense to nobody, no offense to nobody. Everybody. And I was open to, any race. However, I had said, and if he's black, that would be nice. And then I kind of was like chuckling to myself, like, ha, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Same thing. I did that. I did the chuckle. I did.
I already know. And there you go. I do.
And I was like, wow. Because like I said, when you said that, I just like, I had that moment. I was like, and it.
I didn't even say this. I didn't even say it. But the reason why I asked him, does it exist, was because I was thinking, like, I've met these men, but they ain't black. But so God just was like, there go one, he black. There go one, he black. There go one, he black. There go one. Oh, look at your family. There go one, he black. There go one, he black. There go one. There you go. There you go. So,
That's what you think so lightly of our because honestly, there's a lot. Even, and I'm not trying to do nothing. I want to say there's at least 2 single men that be on the show now. I ain't trying to point no finger. But that's so. And for me, I would say like, well, it's a blessing that I'm no longer on the market. Because me, I was always looking. That was my whole thing. The people that watch it, they know already. I done told them already. I was always looking. So me, them gentlemen, I probably wouldn't been looking. You know what I mean? So now it's like I can just have a regular conversation. But anyway, what I'm saying is like when you meet those type of guys, you be like, and you love God, and you this, y'all are unicorns, like
But you know what? He showed me so much, so many times, that he let me know, like, it's not even that rare. It's not even that rare. Like, that's what he keeps showing me. And you know what? I love all of God's people. I love all of us. I have dated, so many different types of men, not just black men. I've dated so many different types of men, gotten to know them and everything. And I love learning about other cultures. Mm-hmm. But when I really boiled down to it and somebody was like, no, you need to be specific. Do you want to be with a black man? I was like, yes, I do. And they were like, well, own that. That's okay. Own that. Own that. That's fine. So when I wrote that down, then I was like, okay, Lord, but I ain't never met one like this. Not with all of this.
Right.
And I'm telling you, over the last 2 years, he has been like, there you go. 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 Okay. Have I shown you enough of them yet for you to believe me?
I'll give you the desires of your heart, y'all. Like that. I guess,
that's why I say patent pending, baby. He coming. I just don't know where he at.
Well, may you have my story, because when we met, we was like, where have you been? Like, everything happened in such a way where it was like it had to be God. I'm like, there's no other way. If things didn't happen the way they did, and so and don't get me wrong now, because some debacles led up to me being in the situation that I was in. And but I love telling that because it's at the end of the day, it's like those things that I look back on. It was like when I was going through them, they was like things that either beat me down or things that was like, damn, why am I going through this? Or why did that happen that way? And now looking back on it, I'm like, if it didn't happen that way, all the beautiful things that I have in my life right now would not even,
it wouldn't be here.
So I mean, I guess that's at the end of the day, I think my main message across the board, like again, people might get tired of me sharing it, but I'm just like, well, one, you got to be open to, what God wants to do. You got to be open to, changing. If they're obviously, the Bible is life changing. I mean, it's gonna change some things in your life, change some things in your patterns, or whatever the case is. Change yourself. Like you have to make some different decisions.
100%.
But if you're willing to do that stuff, and then, like I said, now I don't even not say I don't plan. Don't get me wrong. I still have some plans. I still write down to do. I still do that type of thing. Yeah. But now I want to say that I'm more so like, what you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like, what's the feel for this? Like,
okay.
And it's better. It's been so much better to just live.
So much better. So much better. Am I still here? Okay, there we go.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know what the people don't receive today. I hope they look.
I hope so too. I got a part 2 for you too.
Oh. Okay.
Why your type ain't your type.
Ooh. Girl.
I could talk for an hour about that.
We need to hold on.
God took my type from me because I ain't even give you the story about how I came up with the list. I ain't even give you that. So we gonna have to circle back one day and just talk about that.
Okay.
But your type ain't your type. If you're still single and the Lord ain't revealed to you that it's coming, your type probably ain't your type. You need to go back to the drawing board.
That is a word.
You in the wrong place.
I can already touch and agree with her on that right there. I got my testimony too. We might be girls ready to talk about it, but we wait.
Listen, my list came from God. Cause what's on my list, that's why I didn't think it was real. Cause it didn't come from me. I was like, you sure?
We got that was a good one right there. We need to do that. We got to set that up.
We're gonna set it up. We're gonna set it up. Y'all stay tuned. Cause I'm ready to come back and talk about it.
Like I said, I already know. I already co-signed it. I got my testimony to share too. So we good on that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well,
loaded.
Tiger, AJ, Ray, I'm telling you, sis, this just blessed my soul today. Thank you so much for joining me for this conversation, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This is a whole blessing.
I obviously, again, we got this next episode, part 2, coming for you guys real soon. We gonna set that up today. But yeah, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you to Miss Tiger AJ Ray. And look, if y'all ain't right, stay out of her DMs.
Don't even slide in there. When you gonna slide in, you gonna slide right back out.
In the name of Jesus, if you ain't right. We need all the guys anointed and appointed.
That's it. That's it. Glory.
Oh my God. I'm gonna let you go.
Wishing I would have a one night.
Thank you so much for watching God, Sex, and Love, and thank you again to Miss Tiger AJ Ray for joining me for that amazing conversation. I had so much fun, and I am looking forward to the next one. I hope you are too. Good night.